Today, across much of the country, today is still known as Columbus Day, a famous explorer who helped Europeans discover North America, but who in recent years has become more of a controversial figure for capturing and enslaving Native Americans. Well, Wisconsin, home to more federally recognized Native American tribes than any other state east of the Mississippi, is now one of 11 states that instead recognizes the day as Indigenous Peoples Day. Newswatch 12's Lily Zoller has more.
Native American history in the United States is one of violence and persecution.
The trauma that happened to our people, they still relive it today through some of our elders, and through our teachings, we learn how to cope with this. And like I said, you know, the past can't be changed, but it can be talked about so it doesn't happen again in the future.
This is what Governor Evers spent the morning of Indigenous Peoples Day doing. He also signed an executive order to formally acknowledge and apologize for Wisconsin's historical role in boarding schools.
It's estimated that thousands of Native American kids in Wisconsin were forced to attend one of these schools, leaving generations of trauma inflicted on Native families and communities, and a loss of language, culture, and identity.
There were at least 10 of these schools throughout Wisconsin. Native children were also sent out of state where they were forced to assimilate to American culture.
As a state, we bear the responsibility for acknowledging the trauma and pain inflicted on tribal communities then and today. And we have a moral responsibility to not only investigate the truth, but pursue a more just and equitable relationship with Native nations.
The executive order seeks to formally recognize and apologize for the tragedies done to the Native Americans at the hands of state and federal governments. It also welcomes the Department of Interior to investigate the boarding schools that were once operated in Wisconsin.
It made me really feel good inside, that knowing that our culture is still going to be looked at in the future for our Native American kids.
Supporters say that the work isn't done yet. This is just the start of moving forward.
We're looking toward the future. I'm hoping that other governors across the United States will do the same and recognize, you know, what had happened was a tragedy and we need to fix it for the future.
In the Northwoods, Lily Zoller, Newswatch 12.